Hello, my name is Denamganai and my research is about language grounding, and it aims at enabling new form of video gameplay where players and non-player characters, NPCs, could learn to collaborate using interactive dialogue, not bounded by the limitations of scripted gameplay dialogues. Let us take a step back and look at natural languages more closely. What are they made for and how do they achieve those goals? Firstly, their reason for being, as evidenced by linguistics, is nearing consensus on the need for cooperation and collaboration between early human beings in order to solve complex tasks, such as, for instance, hunting or convey knowledge about what poisonous berries to avoid eating. Something important to realize about those examples is that they highlight what we mean by language grounding, where the semantics of the language is dependent on our experience of the world around us, of the particular berries we might look at the moment or smell the scent of, or the particular behavior we can infer from the sounds we can hear of the current prey we might happen to hunt, if we were cavemen and cavewomen, for instance. In other words, our understanding of language is situated and grounded in our senses. The way language utterances are grounded in the context has been dubbed the referential function of language by Jacobson. Among other functions, one that is worth noting is called the metalinguistic or reflective function. It is concerned with the form or code in which the messages is encoded as a result of a choice from the involved parties. For instance, when two players in a cooperation game agree on a signal from one to the other to trigger an action of the other, the act of reaching an agreement via language, via the use of language, is a use case of the metalinguistic function. Secondly, all natural languages exhibit some invaluable properties, such as compositionality and recursivity. Compositionality is seen in the productive ability to speak about a blue cat when one has only been exposed previously to white cat and blue car. And recursivity, or recursive syntax, is the ability to embed sentences within sentences. Those properties are invaluable in the sense that they allow us to express an infinite amount of meaning while only using and learning a finite set of words or signals. Unfortunately, current state of the art in natural language processing and understanding relies on deep learning models. They fail in different ways with regard to what we have highlighted previously. Firstly, they acquire language understanding without grounding the semantic into some form of experience. So they are not grounding in any senses at all. They just lack the referential function as defined by Jacobson. Secondly, it has been evident throughout the last decade that deep learning models lack the ability to generalize compositionally. Finally, there is a lack of reflective function that can be observed so far, even though this gap tends to close itself, as it has been seen recently with the OpenAI GPT-3 model and its few-shot learning ability. In my work, in order to alleviate on the previous issue, I focus on language acquisition and emergence via different variants of the referential game. In those games, language emerges via extensive use of the reflective function of language, as the sender and the receiver that play the game must find an agreement on the message semantic. This semantic is also grounded in the senses of the agent, most likely sight, so there is also a focus on the referential function of language, thus the name of the game. Within this context, my research is concerned with looking for drivers of systematic compositionality in language emergence. To sum it all up, collaboration between human players and NPCs in video games requires NPCs to be able to generalize compositionally and make use of both the referential and the reflective function of language that are currently missing in the most common natural language processing systems. Therefore, my research work employs a different road towards language emergence and grounding by using what are known as referential games, and I'm currently focused on enhancing the compositionality abilities of the learning agent within that context. If you want to hear more about this, do not hesitate to get in touch. Thank you for your attention.